Hi there, I'm Jennifer Angel. This is my overview for the week of November the 2nd. So I'm just going to have a quick review of the last closing week of October. We did have the full moon on the 27th. It was in the sign of Taurus. I really felt very intense with this full moon. Personally, I was born on a full moon, so that's a pretty normal occurrence for me. But this one, I really did feel pretty intense. So I think during full moon time, or intense periods like this, we really need to give ourselves and others around us just a little bit of a break. Okay, so something to remember. But it was a great time then over this next couple of weeks, or 10 days or so now until the new moon. Great time to work through projects, methodically work through them, bring them to a close. And right at the beginning of November, on the 1st or the 2nd, depending on where you are in the world, Mercury will make a move, or made a move, depending on when you're listening to this, from Libra to Scorpio to join the Sun. And this will encourage us to say how we feel about certain things and people and situations, and be able to settle perhaps some past misunderstandings, which there seem to have been the occurrence possibility of right through October, particularly with the dance between Venus and Mars, and also September when Venus was retrograde. So we can sort of like clear that up now, but it's going to really take just being open and honest, first with yourself and then others. So you can use this energy really to delve down deep, to uncover any emotional baggage that you just no longer want to cart around. Like enough is enough, and clear that energy, and put a zone or a cone of protection of a light around you, and try not to take it back on. So a release of the negative tension can help to remove energy blocks, things that blocks that can stop you from, can be just like an attitude or a thought or a viewpoint, but it can stop you from really living the life of your dreams. So it's worthwhile doing that emotional clearing work, although it can be confronting. But the result is well worthwhile. All right, so the first week of November, so the week will kick off with Venus and Mars doing their love dance in the sign of Virgo. So there's right together there. Normally this is like a fantastic dynamic connection between Venus and Mars, and it is this time too. But in Virgo, you want to be a little bit careful that you don't just get involved on being judgmental or critical, particularly with that Mars energy there, because there's a lot of romance and passionate energy with these two together. And Venus is the romantic side, Mars is the passionate side, but issues can arise in Virgo, and it's not all bad. I mean, it can provide the trigger to really uncover underlying issues that you need to get to the bottom of and work through. Of course, it all sounds sort of easy when you say it, but as we know, it takes courage and it takes work to be able to do that. You've got about a week to work with this energy, because on the 8th, Venus will, right at the end of this week, Venus will move into the sign of Libra. Now, Libra is one of the signs that Venus rules, so it's very, very comfortable here. Mars is going to follow in about another 5 days. That's next week. Mars is not so comfortable in Libra. So, the balance there can just once again help you sort of work through things, and we'll talk more about that next week. So the main thing to remember is to do with love and or relationships. Try to be sensitive and diplomatic rather than critical and judgmental. Okay, and sometimes it's not that we're being judgmental from a tough or hard or nasty place from our heart. It can be that we're wanting to help people, and that really is more of the Virgo energy. It's not coming from a spiteful, but still, um, any area like that you want to treat as a little bit sensitive, okay? Um, and, plan, if you're in a relationship, then plan something nice to do with your honey. Have a date night. If you're single, then you get out and socialize. But remember, life does come with inevitable compromises. I mean, it's like we have one thing. If we want a person who's independent, and not so needy, then the drawback of that is that, they're not going to want to be with us all the time because they've got their own life. So there's always a plus and a minus. Once we get one thing, then we have to compromise on another thing. So, and, the other thing I like to make a point with relationships is, not one person can ever really provide us with all of our needs, wants, and desires. So, sometimes our pals or our family, or colleagues can provide some of our needs, wants, and desires. We don't have to get all of it provided from our partner, because that sort of puts a lot on one person, doesn't it? All right, so on the 5th, so the illumination of the sun is going to interact with powerful Pluto. So this is going to make it a great time to get down to business, clear out the old, and make room for the new. It's a very transformational, powerful connection. Communication planet Mercury is also going to favorably interact with Neptune. So this is going to provide inspiration and creative thought just to get in touch with what it is that you really want. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. And that's the starting point. It starts with you. It starts with, what do you really want? And some people will go to therapists to find that out. But if you're not in position to do that, then good friends can help you. And really, a lot of it is just sitting in silence by yourself to get in touch with that inner, that inner self part, that soul part of yours, that higher consciousness, to know, what is right for you. And really, we can get all the advice in the world, but we're the only people that can really come to that conclusion. Okay, so try not to put too much weight on what other people say. Certainly, it's great to reach out for advice, but remember, just because somebody gives you advice, it doesn't mean to say you have to take it on board. You might take some of it on board, for instance. Now, the connection between these two planets also with Mercury and Neptune, it really does help you be a little bit idealistic. And I love that, because, to be idealistic really is thinking outside the box and taking limitations away. And although that's not where you may end up, it's a great starting point. And then we can start doing that plus and minus. Or if we do that, and then we have to give up that, maybe we don't want to do that. And, we start to sort of balance it out, and, we get a little bit more realistic. But I love starting off from an idealistic point of view, and Neptune certainly helps us do that. And at the end of the week, on the 8th, Venus will move to Libra, as we said earlier. I'm just reading my notes here. And it is one of the signs that she rules, so she's comfortable here. And any altercations that you've had in your love life, it will, you can start to iron them out now. She's going to be in this position for 4 weeks, so it makes November really a month for love in your personal life, and very favorable negotiations with your business. Okay, so I like this week. Look, there's always a few sort of challenges anywhere, along the way, but I feel that the challenges this week are really about every person individually, and it allows you to just get more clarity about how you feel about things, okay? And to do that, do try to put a little bit of time aside just for you. Not always easy if you've got, sort of like pets, kids, husband, work, life gets pretty full and it can be difficult to just get some moments for yourself. I understand that. But sometimes, if you're walking to the subway or something like that, then perhaps don't use that time to make your phone calls or texts. Use that time just to be with your own thoughts, so grab a little bit of daily time like that if you're not able to do a formalized meditation, which of course is always the best. Okay, so love and luck to you. I'm going to go ahead now and do the individual reports. Thanks so much for watching and following my work. Bye for now.